Sam Houston, professional wrestler. Anyway, I just wanted to take a minute of your time and say, hey, if you need to get up to date on your views and issues and everything else, listen to the American Adversaries on AM 660. The Answer. These guys got it going on. Trust me.
No.
We got it going on.
Going on.
Sounds like a politician. Trust me.
I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
That's one thing Rand Paul cannot say.
Yeah, don't say that.
Trust me, I'm not a doctor.
All right, welcome back to the show, folks. That's right, you are listening to the American Adversaries Drive Time Primetime Show. Tomorrow night we'll be coming to you live from the GOP Sunshine Summit, and we need questions, and that's what we're looking for tonight. Boy, we got a couple pages full of good questions, excellent questions, one and all, and what we're looking for is questions that I or Aubrey can ask anyone or all of the candidates. You can specify anyone, or if you'd just like to ask us any or all of the candidates, what is the question you would like us to ask these GOP candidates tomorrow or Saturday at the summit? And it can be either sort of a gag question, like Mike would have us ask Carly Fiorina if she thought Raven from The View was a bird brain.
And higher IQ than a bird. and that is questionable when you saw that hairstyle she wears. Oh, my God.
I got a blue jay that lives in one of my trees that has a better hairdo than she does. But or it can be a very serious question. We've gotten a lot of good, excellent questions. Would they consider Alan West for the Department of Defense? Would it be wise to make Carson a candidate to undo what Barack Obama has done? I kind of like that one, too.
Good one.
What are your plans for lowering the corporate tax rate? What are you smoking to allow Putin to deal with ISIS in Russia? If you have a question for one or all of the candidates, call right now. What is at stake is a $20 gift card to Cafe Positano, which you can actually use on a piece of meat, a steak, which is a prime rib. Tuesday nights are prime rib night. And a 30-minute chair massage from
Marilyn Monroe Spa in Oviedo.
Marilyn Monroe Spa in Oviedo.
Pretty sexy, I'll tell you. You know what I mean?
All right.
I'm too sexy for my spa.
No, I'm too sexy for myself.
All right, we'll take questions throughout this segment, but then we're going to have to make a decision. And so call us right now at 407-774-8255 if you've got that burning question you'd like to ask
Chris,
someone.
Do you think the Democrats are going to do a summit here where we could take responses and questions for the Democrats?
They should be so lucky.
I don't know. We'll have to consider that, though.
Yeah, but it'd be, what, 2 people? Like you go out there and go, well, what is it? I've done my interviews. And 2 people.
One's a communist, one's a socialist.
By the way, the latest book is out in Las Vegas now. This isn't the English bookies who have been known for their accuracy in picking our elections over there. But the Las Vegas book on the candidates shows, let's see, there's only 4 of them in double digits. What they do is they don't do the odds like 2 to 1 or something like that. They say a percentage. Carson comes in at 7%. Jeb comes in at 10%. Cruz 11%. Trump 17%. Marco Rubio comes in at 43%.
You kidding me?
43?
Yep.
They must have been calling Democrats.
I want to know what they're smoking.
Yeah, now the question is, did they bet 2 against who would win on the matchup?
No.
No matchups.
But this is for the primary.
But that's amazing, 43%. Wow.
I actually think, and I think what they're doing is they're basing this on the revelation that they have had, and perhaps they listened to the American Adversaries and got it here, and that is that Marco is the establishment darling. He always has been. He never was a Tea Party candidate.
No, he never was.
No, sir, he was not. This isn't something that the establishment messed up because they got, he was elected. No, he was never a Tea Party candidate. He sold himself as one. Larry and I saw him speak at a Tea Party rally, shook his hand, gave him a couple of pairs of American Adversaries shoestrings.
Awesome.
How
generous of you.
Well, that was our initial. We couldn't afford T-shirts. We were on a shoestring budget.
He could tie them together and make a noose to hang himself.
I gave him two. I distinctly, he was with his wife, and we spoke with him for, I don't know, about a minute and a half or so. You know, it was just as he was passing by. Shook his hand, he smiled, and we talked. And I said, here's a pair of our shoestrings for you, because we're on a shoestring budget. And he laughed. And I said, here's a pair.
Well, he can identify with that.
And he had just been in a meeting with Obama before that, and I said, and here's a pair to give to President Obama the next time you see him. And he laughed.
Did you want Obama to put him in his shoes, or do what?
I was kind of hoping he'd wrap him around his... Well, never mind.
That's right. That's what they were talking about.
Don't want to get me in trouble here. Let's go back to the contest. All right, and then we got a little update on Mizzou. Let's go back to West. West, thank you for calling. Who and what would I ask? Wes, are you with us?
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm here. I wanted you to ask the candidates, because we've got such talent when you look at the stage and the field among the Republicans.
Yep.
Would you have any plans to utilize some of the other candidates that may not get the nomination as part of your governing coalition?
That's a good question. Very excellent question. Would you utilize some of the other talent on stage of the other candidates in your administration? Excellent question.
You wonder how candid they would be about that, primarily because you're still running against the individuals, and you don't want to pat them too much on the back, because you might say, well, I really like Ben Carson. He could be charged of DA because he's so responsible. Wait a second. I just wonder how candid they would be in that response.
But nonetheless, it's an interesting,
it's a great question.
Excellent question.
If they'd answer it fairly.
Yeah, and but Trump has played coy on that so far.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But okay,
he's learned how to play politics.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, we got, let's see, Brad next. And Brad, you don't have a contest question, but you have a comment. Is that correct?
Well, I actually have both.
Okay.
I'll do the comment, but the question would be for Donald Trump.
Okay.
And I know that our Constitution won't allow this with the Supreme Court nominees that Obama appointed for life. But to every other Obama appointee, can he, as soon as he takes the oath of office, say his customary, "You're fired" to each and every one of them?
Would you fire Obama appointees? Okay.
And then the comment, of course, is on this latest Rubio craze. Guys, I'm just being a realist here, and his extreme views on abortion, and he's viewed by everybody else, not by our Republicans, of course, but by everybody else, the independents and the Democrats, as an extreme right-wing type of guy, and that spells doom in the general election, as you know. So I'm going to stick with Trump, even though I love Ted Cruz. I'm being a realist here, and I hope you guys can, kind of agree with me on that. Even though I like all these guys, I'm thinking about the general.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And as a matter of fact, Trump does seem to show the broadest support of all of the Republican candidates. It's uncanny. And still in polls, he shows to be more popular amongst Hispanics, depending on which region of the country that you're polling. So I tend to agree with you, Brad. All right, you're in the contest. Appreciate you calling. Ed, you're up next. Ed, who and what would I ask them? Ed, are you there? Ed. All right, well,
was signed by Ronald Reagan.
Okay, hold on. Wait. Ed, hold up a second. We evidently came in the mid of your sentence, in the mid part of your question. Please start over. Thank you for calling.
All right. In 1986, when Ronald Reagan signed the first amnesty bill, do you think that helped the American border situation, or was it a detriment and put us in the position that it's in today?
Yeah. Well, after he signed that bill later on in his life, he expressed regret over signing it because it did have a negative effect.
Right, but he was under
Democrat today, and that's why our country's messed up, and that's why Trump is doing very well, because Reagan signed that bill that says you don't reward people that break our laws.
Yeah.
And, we're in that situation. It happened in 86. We can't make it any worse. It's time to put an end to it. And Trump's the only one that's really talking hard about that.
Yep, you're right.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Back then, Reagan had a Democrat
Congress.
House and Senate to fight against. And I think it was Tip O'Neill. It was Tip O'Neill that made an arrangement with him that if he gave amnesty, they would close the border.
Right, that was the understanding. Yeah,
and it never happened.
It never happened.
You can never trust a Democrat when they open their mouth and tell you they'll do something.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can't believe how many talking heads and Republicans scoff at Trump, and Medved's one, who say, "You can't build a wall. That'll never happen." I mean, this guy builds skyscrapers and hotels and casinos, and they're telling him he can't build a wall? Give me a freaking break, man. Building a wall would be easy. All right, thank you, Ed. We appreciate it. You're in the contest. All right, we got some open lines now. If you have a question for one or all of the candidates, call in now. 407-774-8255 is the number. I might pose a question about Mizzou. I would say, what would you do in a situation like this?
Yeah, how would you handle it?
Would you be hasty and give in to unwarranted demands that were based on falsehood and lies, or would you investigate? Would you stand up to this sort of nonsense? Because what we're finding out is pretty much everything that was alleged to have happened at Mizzou was a lie. And the student body president, turns out he was an intern for a fellow by the name of Rahm Emanuel. Had his picture taken with this other fellow by the name of Barack Hussein Obama, and he's gay, and he's got a chip on his shoulder, and it had nothing to do with things going on at that university. This is about national politics is what's going on at Mizzou. And what they're going to do, what they're already doing, is spreading this political movement around the country under the guise of atrocities going on at our universities around the country.
Racism.
Always the word that works. Racism, rape, all kinds of atrocities. We got to do something about this. And of course, they don't say that the university systems are pretty much run by liberals, right? But here now you even have the liberals worrying about the liberals.
But there was also a thing at Mizzou where there was a whole bunch of students that came together to express their feelings and to learn and overcome, and they split into 6 groups of blacks and 1 of whites.
As a matter of fact, they asked the whites to leave because they wanted to have
the black only.
Yeah, boy, isn't that something? Yeah,
there's no racism there at all.
No.